Hey honey bears and friends, welcome to the first episode of Cooking with Char. I hope I edited in like a thing. I've wanted to do a cooking stream for a pretty long time, and I finally can do that now that I have this beautiful kitchen to work in, and I have the perfect recipe that I've wanted to make. I've been dying to make for ages for you guys. By the way, if you're new here, make sure to like, follow, subscribe, share, comment, make the eat. So this recipe is from the great lands of CK. It's called, what's it called? Sweet Sundae Ramen. We're in for a very sweet treat. I'll tell you that much. I'm not really a professional chef, but I like to share my recipe on here for others to use. I call it Sweet Sundae Ramen. First, you start off with any flavor of ramen, as long as it's the Maruchan brand. Ramen. Okay, of course, step one of all ramen, add water. It doesn't have to be fancy water or at any temperature. Just plain room temperature tap water is all I use for this. Alright, well, I'm already 2 steps ahead. I already have my pot of water ready to boil. I'm gonna start boiling it right now, actually. Okay, so just get the water boiling. I know how to make ramen. Wait, what? In the microwave? That's just a bowl, and he's just throwing it in the microwave? Can you do that? Well, I'm not doing that. I don't even have a microwave. I don't think I have a microwave safe bowl. If I tried to do that, my bowl would freaking melt. So I'm just gonna boil it the old-fashioned. We're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Oh, she's already not following the recipe. Ah! So I should also say I decided to do something a bit different for this recipe. Initially, when I wanted to cook Sundae sweet ramen for all of you sweet honey bears, I wanted to use that s'mores ramen that came out during the summer, but when I went back to the store to get more, they were all gone. I guess they stopped selling it. So I was honestly just gonna give up and just cook it the normal way. It's a good thing I'm good at improvising. Okay, here it is in the bowl. I think the chocolate is better. It's easier to see the chocolate now. While you're waiting, grab the other ingredients and throw out the packaging, including the spice packet. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, here's all the ingredients I use. Food coloring, sprinkles, nut topping or any crushed nut. So I completely forgot about the nuts, so there are no nuts in this recipe. This is a nut-free Sundae sweet ramen. Marshmallows. Oh, banana. Hershey's shell. It's a magic shell chocolate. So the stuff that like breaks apart, like hardens and breaks or whatever. Hot fudge, not to be confused with the magic shell chocolate or the homemade fudge. Why is there like 3 different chocolate sauces? Caramel or caramel, I guess. Frosting, peppermint flavoring. It's Hershey's these chocolate chips. There's so much chocolate in them. And also Oreos, whipped cream. Anyway, once the ramen is done cooking, drain the water out completely. First, I'll start off with the peppermint flavoring. You just have to add a few drops. Okay, so this smells, here, I'll let you smell it. Here. Okay, so said a few drops. Let's be careful. Let's not be liberal. Ooh! It's just, oh, yeah, this smells like medicine. I don't like this. I have to eat this? This is strong. This is already, I was hoping that the peppermint wouldn't be as bad. The peppermint might end up being the worst part of this. It's so strong. Okay, so I think that's well incorporated now. I mean, not like you could tell. Next is the food coloring. I get this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I promise it's great. And everyone I make it for loves it. Next step, I added blue food coloring. You can add any color, but I find yellow useless and green makes it look moldy. So he uses like a different kind. This is like gel food coloring. I hope it mixes well anyway. How much do you need? I don't know how much you need for this. I hope that's not too much. Isn't that ASMR wonderful? The ASMR that's going, oh, it's so blue! The ASMR that is fighting with the dishwasher. This is like Sonic ramen, if anything. Anyway, next step is add honey. I use about a tablespoon. Next, I add caramel. I think this is my favorite ingredient, so I tend to add a lot whenever I make this. What the fuck is happening in this thread? Why am I hungry? Why would you do this? Next is hot fudge. This is the stuff that gives it tons of flavor. I better not fudge this up, or else I'll ruin the recipe, and I don't think anyone will just forget about it. And ruining this recipe and video will make me want to kill myself. Oh yeah, that looks great. This looks edible. This makes me want to fucking kill myself. So I'm just gonna clean this way. Oh that goddamn wave. This is starting to look like something. Next is the homemade fudge. I don't really have the recipe for it right now, but you just take a tablespoon and add it in. So what I did is I realized immediately that I did not have cocoa powder for some reason. So since I still had the hot chocolate, I used that since hot chocolate mix is just cocoa powder and sugar, right? So I dumped the sugar in. That's a ton of sugar, by the way, Jesus Christ. I dumped the sugar in, I put in the hot chocolate mix. I also realized, my mistake, I did not have whole milk. I usually drink plant-based milk, and that sometimes causes problems with certain recipes, especially because when it asks for whole milk, it wants the sauce of whatever you're making to thicken up. But usually usually we do have heavy whipping cream on hand, and we have like for some reason 4 cartons of it. So, and almost like some of them were already open. So I used one. I didn't measure it. I used one. Then when I was putting in the second carton and I started to stir, I smelled something incredibly foul. It smelled like, the best way I could describe it is it smelled like rotten asparagus. It smelled like a mix of rotten asparagus and spinach. I've never smelled that from any dairy product. I've never smelled that. Usually when a dairy product goes bad, you know, it had like, you know, sour, if you've had, you know, sour milk or anything like that, it has that like pungent, that distinct pungent smell. But no, this smelled foul. And when I poured the rest of it in the sink, when I poured it out in the sink, it was coming out in chunks, and I knew I fucked up. I knew I had to start. I had to pour everything out, and I had to start all the way over. I wasted like 3 cups of sugar and 2 packets of. I wasted like 2 packets of hot chocolate mix. What can you do? You live and you learn. You hang on the edge of tomorrow. So I had to start over. I poured most of it out, but because I didn't mix it enough, and a lot of it sat on top, thankfully. So I poured out most of it. I poured out a good chunk of it. Then I added more sugar, 2 more packets of the hot chocolate mix. This time I did use the plant-based milk that I had, and that was coconut milk. I wasn't sure if that would help, if it would have thickened up, but it did end up thickening up really well. A bit too well, really. I followed the recipe. It said not to add the butter and the vanilla until it cooled down. And by the time it cooled down, it was so thick, I could barely stir it, and then the butter was not mixing at all with the hot fudge, or the homemade fudge, you know. And I didn't know what to do, so I just left it alone. Then when it came back, it was rock solid. Okay, well, I somehow broke. I broke my freaking spoon. I broke this wooden spoon. Do you see this? It's frozen solid. Is it supposed to be like this? So, I didn't have any hot fudge for this. I keep mixing it up. What's the difference between hot fudge and the homemade fudge? Is there even any difference? It's the same. I also learned, I thought like homemade fudge was like the stuff that's kind of like a brownie, but not really. But I guess I was wrong. You know, like, have you had fudge before? Like, at a gas station or something? It's like chocolatey, and it's kind of solid, and it's kind of like a brownie, but not really a brownie. It's like, it's more chocolate than flour. I thought it was like that. I think the recipe I followed was just going to be regular hot fudge anyway, but whatever he put in looks more like the hot fudge I used. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So I can safely skip this part because I have to. Stir the melted fudge and then add your nut. But wait, you microwave it for 20 seconds so the fudge melts. Stir the melted fudge and then add your nuts. Gotta skip that too because I don't have any nuts either. Some people don't like this, so this is optional, but I like to add a Pop-Tart to it for that extra sweetness and a little bit of crumble. So he adds a Pop-Tart and what looks like a strawberry Pop-Tart, but I honestly don't like strawberry Pop-Tarts. Yeah, you can boo me all you freaking want. I hate them. The the fake strawberry taste is awful. But honestly, Pop-Tart just tastes fake in general. So, so, we're, oh God. I think cookies and cream would match the overall chocolate flavor anyway. No, really, this looks like baby puke. What the? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now I add the pudding because it's getting a little thick. So the pudding makes the noodles slip around easier. Honestly, I don't know what he means by that because this is 90, I mean, besides the Pop-Tarts, this is like 90% like sauce. Does that make sense? It's like 90% sauce. Like, what do you mean it's getting it's getting thick, but it's already so liquidy. So the pudding wasn't solidifying fast enough. It's supposed to be like instant mixed pudding, but it was so liquidy so I kept it in the fridge for several hours. It was still liquidy. Then right before I started this, like we started recording, I tossed it in the freezer, and this is the result. Oh, still liquid, it seems. I mean, that's fine. That we need some more liquid. We need more cream, if you will. That feeling nice and nice. This is killing me. This is killing me. This is killing me, dude. I don't know how much more of this I could take. Okay, so after mixing it, consistency is still terrible, to be honest. Well, it doesn't matter. In you go. Wow, look at that. It looks like a... I don't think I should say what it looks like. Okay, I'm starting to wonder if I should have got a bigger bowl for this. But I don't have a bigger... I did the best I could, okay? But, oh my God. It being so liquidy might have been... It looks worse. Some of the parts that are solid look chunky like that, and then everything else just looks... Wait, is it like starting to turn kind of green? Or is that just me? It doesn't, I would still eat this. This is kind of like when you're a kid and you make potions in the bathroom, but this is like if you're making potions, but it's food. Next, I peeled the banana. It's best to have the banana blended, but I don't want to dirty any more dishes. So I'll mash it inside the bowl with the chopsticks. Yeah, I don't want to dirty any more dishes either. I think I've used like 8 spoons today. How is this all supposed to fit? Oh, there we go. There we go. Then you add the marshmallows. Optional. Cook in microwave on high for 30 seconds to melt the marshmallows. We could do. Add a bunch of mini or regular sized chocolate chips. I don't prefer microwaving these because then you won't have a nice crunch in there. the frosting. Whoa, okay. That is blue. This is depression food. Not like depression era food, but this is like the food you make when you're completely depressed and you don't care about calories or anything. You just throw stuff together just to feel something. I realized I forgot something. I forgot about the marshmallows. Oh no! Some of the chocolate chips melted. You see those like straight chocolate streaks? I think those are the chocolate chips. They melted. Add an Oreo as a garnish. I forgot to list this in the ingredients, by the way. Like any sundae, add sprinkles. This is any kid's favorite part. I forgot that this was supposed to kind of be like an actual sundae. Here's the finished product. You can also add a cherry on top, but I ran out of those. I'm glad it's over. It has only begun. Now's the part you eat it on stream. Can you feel it, Mr. Krabs? Rub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub. Okay. Am I insane? It's not that bad? I thought it'd be overpowering. I thought it'd be the sweetness would be overpowering, but it's not that bad, actually. It's very strange, though. It's incredibly strange, but it's not like disgustingly sweet. There's a lot of stuff in here. That's the problem. This is almost it's almost soupy, but not in like the way that ramen should be soupy. It's like all like sauce, if that makes sense. Let me take another bite. Oh no. Yeah, like I got a mouthful of sauce or whatever instead of noodle. But it's not the worst thing I've ever had. I was expecting way worse, actually. So it actually wasn't that bad. I swear, it looks awful, but it's not that bad. The main thing is that there's like 8 different types of sauce in it, basically, and the consistency is very strange because it's like if you ate, I don't know, it's interesting because usually if you eat like pasta with too much sauce where the noodles are lost in the sauce, it's not that bad, but for this it's a bit too distracting because it's like 90% sauce. But surprisingly, it's not that sweet. Well, maybe probably not that sweet by American standards, but still, it's not as sweet as I thought. The more you eat it, I say maybe the first couple of bites, it's not as bad. Honestly, the peppermint really helped it. I was worried the most about the peppermint extract, but the peppermint really helped balance it out. And then the ramen itself the noodles itself have a slight saltiness to it. It have a natural saltiness to it that sort of helps balance that out. It sort of helps balance out the overpowering sweetness. I feel like the nuts would have helped too. I feel like if I actually had nuts, it would have helped. And I wonder if not using all of the, because it asked for homemade fudge. I couldn't use that. So I feel like, and then it also, he listed magic shell chocolate, but then He doesn't use it. I mean, I guess I could still put it on there, but still. I wonder if not using those 2 ingredients and only using basically like what, 2 types of chocolate instead of 4 helped make it not overpoweringly sweet. Do I recommend? No. I would 100% not. I would not recommend. I still would not recommend it. I feel like this would be better. I wouldn't be surprised if this is better or more palatable than Aunt Myrna's party salad. I should make that next actually. Well, that's gonna be it for cooking with Char. Thank you for watching and thank you for joining me on my very first cooking stream? Question mark? Unless you're not watching this as a stream. But thank you so much. And I hope it would be really cool if you rewatch this video or VOD and made the recipe with me. That would be really, wouldn't that be super cute? If you have any other cool, awesome, unique recipes you'd like to see me try to make, feel free to comment or send it in my marshmallow link or ask me on Twitter, I guess. Honestly, if I decide to do this again, I kind of want to try Aunt Myrna's party salad. I've heard mixed things from other people that have made it. I've heard mixed things. I've heard mixed things about it. That it varies from actually being somewhat edible to being unbearably gross. I think I saw someone that puked. But thank you. Thank you, and have a blessed day, and make sure it's always fun and delicious to cook with